Good day everyone. In this part of the tutorial, we are going to learn about the variables, the relationship of variables, and the research questions, and of course, what statistics that we are going to use per type of research question. Because statistics, the type of statistics that we need to use for a particular analysis depends on what type of research question that we are trying to answer. Let us first discuss the classification of variables. There are different types of variables. There are two major types. We have categorical and continuous variables. When we say categorical, it comes from the word category. So that variable has categories or is measured in categories. Like, for example, sex is measured in terms of either male or female. So there are only two categories. How about for sex? It is a continuous variable, and in particular, it is a ratio variable because it has a definite zero number for age, as in zero age, and up to a certain number of age or a certain age. So it is continuous from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until the end or the oldest age. And the subcategory is ratio because there's a 0. Let's go back to categorical. There are nominal and also ordinal. For categorical ordinal variables, like for example offender social status, although they are in categories and not in continuous numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, there is some order among them. Because for social status, as we said in our previous lecture, social status is measured in terms of low, middle, and high social status. And we can rank these three in terms of numbers. For low, we can code it as 1. For middle, we can code it as 2. And high, we can code it as 3. It was shown already in our previous lecture how we coded it. Middle as 2, high as 3, high as 3, low as 1. So those are the types of variables. It is important first for us to understand and learn the types of variables so that we can determine the types of analysis that we are going to conduct in order to answer a particular research question. Let's proceed to the types of analysis. The three major types of analysis are univariate, bivariate, and multivariate analysis. Multivariate analysis, the word multi meaning many variables, not just two, not just one. So many. It could be one dependent variable and several independent variables. For bivariate analysis, from the word bi meaning two, there are two variables involved, one dependent variable and one independent variable. For univariate analysis, from the word uni meaning one variable only. And what are the types of univariate analysis that we are going to perform in this tutorial? We have mean, median, mode, and standard deviation. That is for continuous variables. What are continuous variables? One example is age. So we can derive the mean and standard deviation, mode or median of age because it is a continuous variable. For how about categorical variable? We cannot derive the mean and standard deviation, and it is improper for us to derive the mean and standard deviation for categorical variables. What we are going to do is to perform analysis or to derive frequency and percentage, or count and percentage, depending on the type of software that you are using, because there are different terminologies per software that you use. What are categorical variables? Example, whether the victim was harmed or not, whether the crime was consummated or not. So apply frequency. So again, we will perform univariate, bivariate, and multivariate analysis. Now let's go to the type of research question that you have, and the variable and the types of analysis that you need to perform in order to answer the research question. For univariate analysis, the question here, research questions that are answerable by univariate analysis pertain to the description of the variables, like the trends, the nature of the variables, the number, say for example crime rates. So you use univariate analysis. For bivariate analysis, it involves two variables. Now let's go to t-test. T-test is used when the dependent variable is continuous and the independent variable is categorical or nominal, having two categories only. Like, for example, the research question is victim's sex associated with reporting delays? The dependent variable is reporting delays, and the independent variable is victim's sex. The independent variable, victim's sex, is considered, we can view it as the cause, and reporting delays of robbery as the effect. Since the dependent variable is continuous and the independent variable is categorical, specifically nominal, having two categories only, we should use the test. So basically, we'll be comparing male and female sexes in terms of reporting delays. So the alternative research question for this one is there a significant difference between male and female victims in terms of crime reporting delays? So that's the type of research question that we are going to answer using the test. So you compare two groups in terms of a continuous variable. Now let's go to correlation. Correlation involves two variables also, dependent variable and the independent variable. Here, the dependent variable is a continuous variable, while the independent variable is also continuous. Let's look at the research question that is answerable by person correlation. Let's read. Is victim's age related to crime reporting delays? Earlier it was sex, now it is age. Age here is the independent variable and reporting delays is the dependent variable. Reporting delays, the effect, victim's age, the cause. So is victim's age related to crime reporting delays? This one is continuous from 0, 1, 2, 3, the age. Reporting delays continuous also in terms of 0, 1, 2, 3 in terms of minutes. The alternative research question is there a significant relationship, not difference, but relationship between victim's age and crime reporting delays? And there are two types of relationships of variables, negative relationship and positive relationship. When we say positive relationship, it means if the independent variable increases, the dependent variable increases. So for example, if the relationship between victim's age and reporting delays is positive, we can interpret it as when victim's age increases, crime reporting delays increase. So the older the victim is, the longer will be the reporting delay. So that's the positive relationship, because if one variable increases, the other variable increases. If the relationship is negative, on the other hand, it means when the independent variable increases, the dependent variable decreases. So the opposite of positive relationship. So here, if we use that here, if victim's age increases, crime reporting delay decreases. Meaning, as the victim's age increase, crime reporting delays decreases. So older victims tend not uh, to commit reporting delays compared to younger victims. Now let's go to chi-square analysis or statistics. Here, the dependent variable is categorical, specifically nominal, and the independent variable is categorical. One example of research question answerable by this analysis is weapon use associated with crime lethality? Earlier, we discussed crime lethality as whether the victim is harmed or not. So it is binary or nominal. So therefore it is categorical, whether harmed or not harmed. And the weapon use, whether the offender used a weapon or did not use a weapon when committing robbery. So it is nominal or binary variable. And we are trying to associate these two binary variables using chi-square statistics. The alternative research question for this one is there a significant difference between using and not using a weapon in robbery in terms of victim harm? So we are trying to compare the two groups. One group that used weapon, the other group that did not use a weapon, and whether they are different in terms of whether the victim was harmed or not harmed as a result of the robbery. Now let's go to multivariate analysis. Bivariate analysis involves two variables, but multivariate analysis, as I said earlier, involves several variables, more than two variables. But there is only one variable here for multiple linear regression, and that is a continuous variable, and the independent variables are mixed. So if the dependent variable is continuous, use multiple linear regression, as long as the different assumptions in statistics are met with regard to multiple linear regression. The research question answerable by multiple linear regression may be written like this. Are victim characteristics, offender characteristics, and incident characteristics significantly related to crime reporting delays? In other words, whether crime reporting delays in terms of minutes are affected by these factors, victim, offender characteristics, and incident characteristics. In other words, crime reporting delays may be caused by these factors. The alternative version of this research question can be read as follows. Can crime reporting delays, the dependent variable here, be significantly predicted by victim characteristics, offender characteristics, and incident characteristics? So it can be answered through multiple linear regression. Now let's go to binary logistic regression. Here, the dependent variable is categorical or nominal specifically. So the dependent variable on the cause we're trying to see in our study is categorical or nominal binary variable like crime lethality. Crime lethality measured as whether the victim was harmed or not harmed. When we say harmed, whether killed or wounded, versus unharmed. So there are two categories in this dependent variable: crime lethality, whether the victim was harmed or the victim was not harmed. And the independent variables are mixed also. So here are victim characteristics, offender characteristics, and incident characteristics significantly associated with crime lethality. We will answer that using binary logistic regression. So that's the analysis that we are going to do. We will start with univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, and multivariate analysis. Now let's go back to the data that we have. So here are the data that we have. If you encoded it in Excel, you must, or Excel or any spreadsheet, or you must save it as another as a CSV file, just like this, CSV comma delimited or .csv, then save. Then if you want to open it, let's open it through JASP. Let's open the data through JASP. Let's wait for a while. JASP. So here is JASP. Let's open the data that we have. Click this, the main menu, click open, click computer, then go to the folder that or where you save your data. So here in my folder I have the data. Click it, then click open. So we have now the data before us. We'll be performing univariate, bivariate, and multivariate after this lecture.